My name's Tom Klepach, like Jane told you. I'm not going to talk very long. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a sense of what I have done in this project, what my role has been, expand that a little bit, and help you to see what the students have been doing. Because I feel very strong. First of all, I live in this building. My family and I have been fortunate enough to move into this building at the beginning of the year. My wife and I are both faculty at Colby. Part of moving into this building is this understanding that community is important. Colby is recognizing that. I've always felt that, and so it was a natural fit for myself and my wife. Both her and I have tried to be involved in citizen science initiatives. So this whole SEPA project was exciting to me when I heard about it. And why do I feel so strongly about citizen science? It's because science is often put by most people in this inaccessible realm, in this place where people in lab coats do things and science happens, but who knows what that really means. It's hard to interpret something that's sciencey. It's intimidating. Maybe science is, people often have a negative view about science, like they don't want to take a science class. So I think science is essential for any person who is part of our democracy to have just a basic understanding of it, because our world is so governed in many ways by the fruits of science. And a lot of people just don't understand how it works. And so if they don't understand, they can't make choices. They don't have power over their own lives. The ability to make informed choices is at the root of functional democracy, functional community, functional lives. So I've always felt that it's important to try to empower the community to be able to make better choices. This is why I teach at the Maine Arts Academy. I don't know how much the people who don't go there know about it, but it's a beautiful campus at the New England Museum Camp in Sydney. And it's been open for 3 years. I've been there since the beginning of it, just teaching a few classes as I can manage to get out there. And it's lovely. It's a lovely place because it's a place where the arts and science can blend together, and they can be seen to not be too far away from one another. The creativity that it takes to be a performing artist can be found in the soul of a real scientist too. Science isn't just facts. It's not just numbers and like the way a gizmo works or something like that. Science does take creativity too. The creativity to think up an experiment, ask a question. What's the best question you can ask? That's a creative endeavor. Being able to ask the right question at the right time. That's a real act of creativity. And then designing an experiment to answer that question. Uh-oh. Little reprise, little music to take my words even higher. All right, so without going on and on, maybe that was my cue. The students at the Maine Arts Academy, they are taking a class with me called Human Biochemistry. It started at the beginning of the year. It started as Human Anatomy, but they all decided early on that they wanted biochemistry because they were interested in that for various reasons, aspirations that they all have. So that's what we've been studying all year. And this project was like a logical fit. One of the drawbacks at Maine Arts Academy, we don't really have lab space. It's a pretty shoestring operation in some ways out there. But this was an excellent way to be able to go out in the field, collect real data that is meaningful. Jane asked how many people were on public water. How many people are on well water? Are there any in this room? A few? Yeah, lots of hands. Okay. This data that is going to be shared with you is meaningful. It's meaningful. Your lives can depend upon it. You'll hear about the impacts on IQ and bladder cancer and the economic costs of that, the real life costs when people have to deal with the suffering. This is a real thing. And so it's hard to imagine a project where a student can take more ownership over it, right? The results are pretty interesting. So they're going to come up and share those results with you in just a moment. And then the Waterville group, I think, is going to have some another presentation. And then we're going to take a poster session and go and look at some of these posters. After that, I also teach a class called the Biochemistry of Food at Colby. And it's a science class for non-science majors, which is an important class because it's the way for people who don't call them scientists to learn what science is, so again, that they can make informed choices, ostensibly about food, but hopefully about more than that, understanding what science is and what it means to them so they can be leaders. And their task was to go to the literature and find information, background information, and try to absorb it and digest it and spit it out in a way that was publicly understandable. We've talked a fair bit about science communication in that class and how important that is, being able to take those intimidating concepts that are in the monolith of science and actually break them down into understandable bits that can help you make decisions and lead to a better outcome for you, whatever that means. Okay, so with that, I'd ask the students from Maine Arts Academy to come up here. And as they come up, I'm just going to recall part of the ethos of the Maine Arts Academy. These are all students up here. To be a performer on the stage is such a vulnerable thing, and to be able to do that requires the love and support of the whole audience that's there. So I know that's there for these remarkable young women. I've been so honored to be with them. It's going to make me cry. And all the other students that are going to come up and talk tonight. So thank you.